Okay, guys, we are live on Facebook. This is Asif Malik with our today very special session that is designated survivors of COVID-19, the heist of life. You know, George Banashia said there are three types of people living in this world: those who make things happen, those who see things happen, and those who don't know what happens. The famous Netflix series of Money Heist is story of the people who belong to the first category of this quotation, the people who make things happen. It is story of the people who believe in power of action, not the thought. It is story who are the doers, not the thinkers. And it is story of the people who actually act as responsible, not the victims, as 90% of this people in this world living as victims and always complaining about their failures and putting blame on others. Just imagine for a while that we have come into this world for a heist. But this is a different heist. This is heist of happiness. This is heist of success. This is heist of achievements. And this is heist of making a remarkable contribution to make this world a beautiful place. And we all ensure it actually in our lives that we should get the maximum out of this life heist as Professor and his team does in Mint of Spain. So today in our studio, I have got one of three of the most brilliant minds. One from Europe, our very lovely Clarissa is with us. Then I have Netherlands. Another one is Yasmin as Tokyo, the drifter with us from Lahore. And Sharjah, a Professor Rasheed with us. So today these brilliant minds and these people are going to share with you a few of the very extraordinary thoughts and some lethal weapons and plans that how you can get the maximum out of the heist of the life, the success, the happiness, the achievements, as Professor does, to get maximum gold out of the Mint of Spain. So first I would like to introduce all my panelists. I would request from the Professor to come up with the introduction, followed by Tokyo Yasmin, and then Clarissa, the Netherlands.
Hi, everybody. This is Rasheed, the professor. Obviously, this is one of our brainchild, all of us. Means we just thought about it and coming up to share something with you guys today that during this particular coronavirus, especially the incident when started up way back 2 3 years, 2 3 months back, things normally stuck everywhere, and that's one of the purpose that people are coming on live and online things are going on. So we just thought of like, why not we can create one particular session where my friend Tokyo, obviously, and Clarissa, and none other than Berlin, Asif is going to be a part of that particular conversation, where we can bring it out some strategies, where we can bring it out some hope, and we should talk about positivity, because everywhere the negative thoughts and the negative things are so much that people are deprived at this moment, and they really wanted just like what we have seen, a clean environment. We can see a clear picture as well in front of us, and rather than be living in just a kind of a situation where where every time we are thinking of none other than that there is a darkness, and we need to see out of that darkness something, a hope. So
So, sir, I would request you come to your personal introduction. After that, we'll be coming to this all the details. So, personal introduction first. Yeah.
brief and short, I've been working as head of the department for corporate affairs in CCL, that is Center for Content and Learning. I'm an expert in entrepreneurship. People know me that I'm a strategist. More, I would say that I worked on many branding options, startups, new startups. That is my prior area. 14, 15 years I taught entrepreneurship, so that's one of the key area where I have a very good what we call it up uh, um, uh, an expertise of making people to start with their new businesses or anything new, brilliant ideas which needs a stage. So I'm expert in that one. So this is my short intro.
That,
15 years of my
that's
experience.
wonderful. We come to our Tokyo.
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Yasmin Butt. I am a psychologist and a laughter therapist. I am member of International Council of Professional Therapists London and certified in the science of well-being from Yale University, US. So for the last 9.5 years, I've been working as a psychologist, and for the past 2.5 years, I'm working as a laughter therapist. I make people laugh. Actually, no, I don't make people laugh. I tell them how to laugh. वो मैं हंसना इसलिए सिखाती हूँ क्योंकि लोग हंसना भूल गए हैं. So this is something that I'm going to be talking about today. I think over to Clarissa now for her.
Yeah, Krishna, this is your introduction right now.
Hi, I'm Clarissa. I'm Italian, but I live in the Netherlands, and now it's a year and a half. I'm taking part of trainings of self-development, and I really believe in the power that is in every human being to decide and to be accountable in their life instead of being victim. And I believe in this kind of behavior. And today I'm here to support you and be with you for the first part of the life, and then leave you.
That's fantastic. So you guys have just noticed. I will request all my panelists to ensure that they have the link on their wall, Facebook walls for the live sharing, so that their friends and audience and the followers can really watch them. Guys, so we have this such interesting panel today. Somebody is joining us from Netherlands, from Sharjah, from Lahore, Pakistan, and this is going to be really fantastic. So the first part of our today's live heist is why not just sorry?
It's a surprise. We
Yeah,
mentioned
it was a surprise. So why not? I thought that I thought to just bring some really Italian touch and the touch from the Money Heist into our show, and then I thought that why not my only friend? I mean, only beautiful. I mean, this wonderful my friend Clarissa to come on live and show with us and sing with us live. Bella ciao 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 bella ciao. I mean, this song is just like an hangover in all over the world. This is song of hope. This is song of freedom. So this is something that is very close to heart of the millions of people around the world. So what you guys say, Professor,
Yeah.
and Toby, what do you say? Do we have this kind of live singing right now from Clarissa? And we will follow her. What do you guys say?
well, bringing one
Go for
smile is
it.
something important. Yes, go
Excited.
for it.
So Clarissa, this is your
I
show,
couldn't
buddy.
hear anything. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We are hearing you up, and we wanted you to sing Bella Ciao for us.
Bella Ciao for yeah. We wanted you to sing for us Bella Ciao.
I can sing.
Yeah, please. Here you
That's
go. And we will be following you.
Okay.
Yeah. So all of us will be singing with her, right? Whatever we can.
Mi sto alzato, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella
Ciao,
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 ciao.
una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato
Bella ciao.
l'invasore. Partigiano, portami
Bella
via.
ciao.
Bella ciao, bella ciao,
Bella ciao.
Ciao, ciao, bella ciao.
portami via che mi sento di morire. E se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella
Wow.
ciao, bella
Bella ciao, bella ciao.
se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire lassù in montagna.
Yeah.
Oh bella ciao,
Ciao,
bella
ciao,
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 bella
ciao,
ciao,
ciao.
ciao,
Bella-
seppellire lassù in montagna sotto l'ombra di un bel fiore.
Wow. This is really fascinating. This is really fascinating. Clarissa, this was very beautiful.
Lovely.
Thank you.
You just add so much colors into our studio and with these our wonderful guests. So, Clarissa, before you go, can you just tell us to our audience in Pakistan what actually this lyrics means, so that our life heist and money heist fan can understand what this song is actually all about. Although this music is lovely, it's all just in I guess we lost her. Anyways, we
The meaning of this particular song is as it's about to say goodbye, but in a very good manner. means there is again this in this particular song, there is a message of hope as well. So for after every success, I think there is a reason of singing this particular song and enjoying it. Every particular music has its own dimension, and I think Yasmin would be the best. Tokyo, sorry, would be the best to tell us that every single feel which comes out of every single event is something alive.
Yeah,
It
guys.
is.
Guys, before Yasmin, Tokyo was saying something, please.
No, I was saying that I'm in complete agreement of it. Poetry is a kind of art, it's a form of art which cannot be written, or any song or any music, it's a form of art which cannot be written or composed without having emotions involved in it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, guys, before Clarissa joins us once again, we'll certainly talk to her. We go on. So, Tokyo, this question is first to you. This is very important, and this thing is very close to our heart when we were discussing this COVID-19, as it has just taken the world with a surprise. So my first thing from you is this: how COVID-19 is actually treating you, and how you are doing in these hard times. And you just keep in mind the character of your character in Money Heist. So how Tokyo is dealing with COVID-19?
I think Tokyo as a character in Money Heist, she's so complete bindas. Like usko to koi farak nahi padta ki jo marzi ho raha hai. She's with people, without people. She'll figure it out, right? So I would say this Tokyo, Pakistani Tokyo, is a little bit more risk averse. मैं तो अपने risk calculated.
Okay.
I remember it was very interesting because COVID जो है वो फैल रहा था, and me as a consultant, when I talk to organizations about keeping laughter therapies, because I work with organizations primarily. So जिस दिन क्वारंटीन की खबर आई, अच्छा अभी लॉकडाउन हुआ नहीं था, अभी स्कूल्स के लिए पता चला कि the schools are locking down, right? So मैं तो उसी दिन सुनते साथ ही क्वारंटीन में चली गई. Like weekend के ऊपर खबर आई, मैं weekend के अंदर ही self isolation में चली गई. So the first thing that I did was I opened my bank account and I checked कि पैसे कितने हैं. And then I thought, अच्छा 4-5 महीने गुजर जाएंगे, चलो इतने पैसे हैं कि कोविड निकल जाएगा, right? Okay. So this was literally my first reaction. So I went into self isolation. पहला हफ्ता जो था, like पहले हफ्ते तो personal struggles चल रही थी कि I did not know like what is my routine, what to do. Should I read books? I bought books. Should I be making like healthy food? I'm already on a disciplined diet, but like still like should I be eating healthy food? Should I be like meeting my friends, although my friends were not interested in meeting up क्योंकि नई isolation थी, सबको चस्का भी बहुत ज़्यादा था. So वो जो है like पहला हफ्ता तो it was quite funny. Second week में I decided I'm a laughter therapist. I cannot just sit quiet. I cannot not do anything. I have to do something. Like I have to resume my work. If it's not done in person, then I have to do it online. I kept one laughter therapy, just only some of my friends joined, some of my colleagues joined, and I did a laughter therapy and I posted photos. I did another laughter therapy the second day. I like absolutely no motivation to go online and do it because like sitting in front of a laptop in an empty house and doing it like अकेले बैठ के मैं हाँ साथ वाले कमरे मेरे अब्बा जान and he knows that I'm doing a session, but like just because I was so embarrassed, मैं अब्बू से कहती थी कि अब्बू आप जो है ना 3 कमरे छोड़ के दूर बैठा करे when I'm doing laughter therapy, because I get conscious कि अकेली मैं बैठ के जो है वो हंस रही. But like the first session was a bit awkward, the second session was funny, the third session was a bit motivated, fourth session was paid. Right? So हुआ ये कि when I was doing free sessions, a lot of HRs from different organizations they were joining, and they sort of felt कि उनके जो employees हैं they are feeling extremely depressed and very anxious, right? So they started reaching out to me and said, hey, can you do online laughter therapy? And I said, sure, why not? Let's just do it. And then I started doing online laughter therapies, paid laughter therapies for organizations. Why I'm mentioning paid? Because that makes sure that my business remains sustainable. right?
Yeah.
It's not something that I do for free anymore. And then television shows started calling me again. Khabar Yaar mein show was very popular as well, and I conducted laughter therapy on the show. Khabar Yaar wale show ka aapko pata hoga, which is Aftab Iqbal ka show hai, jahan pe pehle Manula jaate the, ab 2-3 aur wahan pe comedians hote, to un comedians ko hasana was like a very funny thing. But ever since then, I'm doing 4 to 5 laughter therapy sessions a week. And the interesting part is that I'm not only doing sessions for Pakistani organizations, now I'm doing laughter therapy for international organizations again. The fact that I'm not able to travel or they're not able to have me in person is not creating a barrier. I'm doing laughter therapy sessions around the world. Just today, we had a global session in which people from Morocco, Singapore, Australia, England, and Pakistan, for 5 countries, we were here. And this was our first global intervention. And now I'm making an international virtual team, जिसमें क्या होगा कि हमारी जो अब हर laughter therapy में my international team members जहाँ जहाँ मैंने chapters on किए वो वहाँ से join क्या करेंगे, so people will get to see a lot of flavor. So just like I said कि at first I could not figure out, just like Tokyo, remember the first time when she calls her mom and she says कि I don't know if I'm coming home or not. Maybe I'm going to China. The same way I felt when I opened my bank account and I was like, I don't know what am I going to do. Like, I had absolutely no plan. I said, I'm going into quarantine. I have no idea. And then I just figured it out. And then, you talk about guardian angel. That is exactly how I felt when companies, the first company who started talking to me about laughter therapy, and she said, Yasmin, what is the cost? I said, you're the first one to ask me about a paid laughter therapy. You can decide the cost. The same way Professor reaches out to her. So I feel that Money Heist has been very intelligent in designing characters which identify with all of us and in situations that we go through every single day. So I just progressed from there, and every single day has been a learning. And the funny part is the exact same way Tokyo messes up her situation, right? We we absolutely mess up our own situation, right? Like अक्सर मैं अच्छी भली क्वारंटीन में जा रही थी कि लाइक वर्क रूटीन बनी हुई है, घर की रूटीन बनी हुई है एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, बट सडनली एक दिन मतलब सारे लोगों से मैं नेटफ्लिक्स से सुनती थी, तो मैंने सोचा कि मैं भी एक एक्सपेरिमेंट करती हूँ, मैं भी पूरा दिन बैठ के नेटफ्लिक्स देखती हूँ. एंड आई वॉच नेटफ्लिक्स 2 days and I got my migraine back, and like now my life is like completely messed up. So then I told myself कि मैं भाई रियल लाइफ टोक्यो नहीं हूँ, तो नीचे बैठो घर पे औकात में आओ. Let's just get back to work and घर का खाना पकाना and all of that. So that was my 1 month. I think 14th को I hit 1 month of quarantine. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's fascinating actually. Compared to Tokyo and Money Heist, you've been acting more responsible, right?
Yes, I'm a Pakistani Tokyo.
but keep it in your mind that Tokyo is a bit lethal. Once she got a chance, she will be retaliating, and she'll be back on the foot. Back with her. So
but let me tell you one thing. Who was this guy who was with her? Moscow? She's dating. Who is she dating?
Rio.
I have everything which Tokyo has except for a Rio. I don't have it.
I figure it out.
One good part is like these days I've been watching on Instagram majority of our so-called Lollywood, Bollywood stars. They've constantly been talking about a lot about these relationship things. There are a lot more other things which are important in life rather than talking about that I'm single, I'm doing this.
The thing is, Professor, I would love to talk about relationships if I had a relationship.
So that means no. That means you and I can start a separate talk on this one, and you and I can come on Instagram and we will make it.
Yeah, you would like an update on my life.
Well, I'll be coming to Professor for the same question, but you know what, Professor, there's one thing. All the audience all over the world actually consider that you are kind of very unromantic.
What?
Very unromantic, very tired.
Well,
I mean, all the audience in the world.
No,
just let me complete the question. They think you are very unromantic. You're very kind of misogynist kind of person. So how Professor is playing? How COVID-19 deal
If you see that particular soap, the professor at the end is a professor, and plus he's a human being as well. So getting into a love is a something, or
Yeah.
being attracted towards the other gender is a something which he cannot resist. So same goes with me as well. That yes, every person is romantic. Even the God Allah Almighty is so romantic about its humanity. We are the ones who just forget about it. But otherwise, it's the world, it's the humans, and we all are loved by our what we call it up a creator. So I'll start with something which is quite interesting. Means the Tokyo
Yeah.
just have mentioned something which is very important to understand, that never stop learning, because life itself is giving you a lot of things back. So it doesn't stop you teaching. So life is giving you a lot of teaching, and we are every day come across this thing. Now, how Corona actually behaves with the professor, that is a very important question, which I normally ask every moment and every day and every single minute to myself. And that's the most important thing with every single person have to do it in these days. As Yasmin narrated about how she's been spending the complete day, I would start with this particular thing, that yes, my particular phase of understanding the life gets started during the Corona. And honestly speaking, and to be very honest, for the last couple of years, I lost myself. I try to find myself now. And that is the most important thing with
That's
every
great.
single person. Even Tokyo has to find herself during these days, that what kind of strong relationships which she never come across before, the feelings, it's now coming up. And that's the most important thing, that we need to see our strong relationships, the strong roots which are just next to us, but we are disconnected with that one. And now this is the time which gives us a kind of motivation to just knowing each other, knowing, and then giving our exposure, giving ourselves an exposure to those particular environment. Either it can be people, either it can be circumstances where we never thought before, or otherwise we were so busy in the life, we were so busy with our things, that we never plan it out. And that is going to be our second phase normally which comes. But I start
Yeah.
giving you one important phase. um, uh, Honestly speaking, I was reading a lot of books and a lot of stuff these days. And one important thing is obviously
Yeah.
working from home. That is another job which we are doing. Though this particular thing has
Yeah.
given the world a new dimension. People who are offline
Right.
before coming online, we have seen. And that is the most important thing which goes with everybody. Good to see that Tokyo is having a lot of exercises going on every day. Same goes with me, same
That's
goes with
wonderful. Yeah. That's
well.
great.
Might be this particular university of success, this channel might not come unless and until the urge
Yeah.
and the
This is
interest.
true. This is true.
Yes, the most important thing is the people have now understood it. I would say that I'll start with the one story of you might have been knowing about the North Star. And Asif, yesterday we were talking about that North Star. North Star story is something which is very common. Everybody knows about the North Star. North Star is something that if you are in the darkness and you need to come out of that darkness, there is one small hope, and that hope is the North Star, which takes you or leads you towards.
I'm sorry, Professor. Professor, I'm sorry for the interruption, because somebody commented such something very something. Yes, Tokyo, if you can read the comment, the last one from Saida Maria Akbar. Can you see the comment?
Wait a second. I'll have to see.
We didn't see the.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let me read it out. Saida Maria Akbar. Yeah.
Oh wow, there is so many. Okay, I can read it out. Professor is mastermind of plans, but in extreme situations, everyone from the team blamed him that he's hiding like a rat. And they're fighting on ground. In life, we do so much for people around us, but at the end, they blame Professor. Please comment. Ji, Professor, saab bataiye. Why did he hide like a rat?
No,
Well, you're always like a rat being
no, the
said.
professor. Look, that is very important. When you're working in a team,
Yeah.
like a professor, you need to save the lives of the other, and that is where the job of people like us, who are the consultant, who are the creators of different planning. I'm going to come towards that one. It's very important that somebody should be
Okay.
working at the
Yes.
other end, and the people who are on the frontliners have an execution plan. So my being hiding on the backside is something who's going to feed you. So that is the important thing. Somebody has to be on the back to give you a direction, to take you to the destination. So that's the important. And somebody who should be having a contingency plan. So my job is to make a plan which has not only A but a B, C, D plan, so that you people can live peacefully and come out of this highest. So that is something which I can answer in that
और
case.
आगे आपने मीसना
So can we
बर्लिन
get
छोड़ा
the conversation? Sorry.
मैंने कहा आगे उन्होंने मीसना बर्लिन छोड़ा हुआ
Okay.
है जो ना हाँ में ना ना में he is a good moderator.
No, he's a good moderator. No, but he know actually how to calm the situation.
Yeah.
Sir,
उनको फंसना
carry
मुझे
on with
लगता
your conversation.
What? So
I mean, you carry on
मैं
with
कह
your
ही रही
conversation on this.
I was talking about bringing a lot of things in such a manner that we all wanted to have that particular candle to be seen in the darkness, and that is where I wanted people that this corona has given us a lot of chance to see the life in a close context. Tell you honestly, we got the chance. Majority of people are means talking on the Facebook or Insta or everywhere. This is the best chance to see their loved ones, and that is the most important thing. And now we always says that we don't have time. We don't have time. Think about it, that this particular phase has given us the lot of time to think and restart or put a restart button for ourselves. Then now we have a time, and now we have relationships to be seen as well. We got the time to see our wife, to see our parents, to see our brother and sisters, to talk to them, to understand where we have lost them. And actually this is something, a self actualization, which have actually generated out of that one. We have a clean environment at this moment. God has its own plan, and that is what we have seen, the implementation of the God in such a manner that now people have to think about it. That what is next? Where I have lost the connection, and this is the most important thing, to see that how to come out of this particular step. People were in distance, and that is where in the distance we have lost our roots, and those roots actually are the relationships. So now this is something which is important. Be of distance. Make sure that you should have that distance to be covered up in such a manner that you have a connect. So people are now getting connected with each other, and that is the most important thing for everybody to understand. That never ever start losing your connects which you establish, and then afterwards you were so lost that you never come across those particular connects. And last but not this, it can be taken up in many different ways. I would say that
Mhm.
there are two aspects, and then we can carry
Right.
on with Tokyo.
Yeah.
One is the aspect which I learned during this particular coronavirus is one is the sabr, I would say, and one is the dua.
Patient.
Sabr
Right.
actually was a kind of a meaning in which we understood that, let's suppose hard times normally comes, and everybody is just going through the hard times. I know that majority lost the job. Some people are thinking about it, how I'm going to survive. But honestly speaking, this get you to go through this particular phase in such a manner. Those who can survive, honestly speaking, they can only survive if they learn the aspect of this particular word which is called as sabr. Now the more you have the sabr, ultimately at the end you'll be getting through with it. And this is what the patience is actually needed by the people. Now you have to learn the patience. That is what actually in that particular drama as well give you a suggestion. The professor has always given them, be patient, wait for the right time. And that is what I
Yeah.
ask the people, that make sure keep your dua to be going on, because dua gives you what? A faith, a belief, And that is where we have to be strong enough. We should have a belief. We should have a faith that things will turn around. Everything will turn around like rain yesterday in Pakistan. Is it raining today? No, because after every big rain, there is a sunlight and there is a sunshine. So sunshine after the rain, that's a very interesting song, which I heard a lot more years back. But
You would actually like more rain after the sunshine.
yes.
Yeah.
But the most important thing, Tokyo, is like we all didn't get the patience in ourselves. We are so weak that something happened. We start thinking about it. I would suggest people that make sure that if something is coming, that is all prepared. It's just all been written. It's all been decided. Don't get panic. Just wait for the right emotions, wait for the right time, and wait for the right execution. People never planned it before, and that is the wrong thing. We will discuss about that one in my second phase, where I'm going to get a chance. So let's get back to the discussion again. This is from my side. This is how I've been going through. The last part is, yes, we all are going through this situation. I'm going through this situation. But the two things which kept get me to move is, one is the faith, which is and the belief, and another which is related with my dua. And one important thing which is keeping me is the patience, which is the sabr. So I would suggest that these two things I get connected, and I'm smiling. I'm here with you guys.
Right.
This is very wonderfully said, Professor, and Yasmin said at the same time. I will just say one line, that in these hard times, a person like me, because Professor knows me very well for the last 20 years, I am always looking for the opportunities out of frustrations. So no matter whatever is going on, situation is very hard, times are very tough, opportunities are very less. But even then, I am doing really my best. I'm reading books, I am preparing my talks, I am spending a lot of good time with my family that I have never been able to do it for the last 22 years. And honestly speaking, this is one of the most fascinating time. खुदा ना करे कि दुनिया में जो बार हो रहा है वो उस तरह की हमारी सिचुएशन इस तरह की हो, लेकिन individually I am trying every single minute of this time to convert it into an opportunity. And this is just because of this initiative that we three different people from different walks of life, different locations and geographical locations are talking to each other. And I am focusing more on intellectual development of my mind and reading so many books that keep me a high achiever person, how I can just set my proper direction, how I can create maximum value for the people around me. So before we go for the second question to Tokyo, there's a one interesting comment by Saida Maria again, once again. She's saying that there is one person in each of us, in everybody's life, like Tokyo, who is a troublemaker. And troublemaker for everyone. In a class, the office. Sorry?
मुझे मैंने कि ट्रबल मेकर बना दिया आपने, मैंने फिर लड़ाई डाल देनी है टोक्यो की तरह.
No, you can never.
She's just asking why such people even exist.
मैंने नोटिस किया बर्नी में हमेशा उसके बड़े आते हैं.
Yeah, the questions are only coming to us. Why not to the Berlin as well?
Yeah, the question should be towards Berlin as well. He is very good at hiding his past and his current as well.
Because he knows that he's gonna die, so he's gonna die, and he knows that living in the moment is something very good to do it.
No. Mind it. That Berlin is still alive in the drama, because ultimately his all particular plans are working in the same manner as he perceives.
वो जैसे भुट्टो जिंदा है ना, ऐसे Berlin. मुझे लगता है भुट्टो से इंस्पिरेशन लिए इन्होंने. Yeah. Also, something that I would like to share is that you might have noticed, if everybody can hear me, yes. मैं एक चीज नोटिस कर रही हूँ कि usually personally मैंने नोटिस किया कि हमेशा सब लोग की एनर्जी डिफरेंट टाइम पे डिफरेंट होती है. Like for example, if I'm traveling and when I come back to Pakistan, so I bring back that energy. But Pakistan में लोग बैठे हुए अपने फिल्म में ये वो, या for example you go to US and then people have another energy. I remember when I was in the Silicon Valley, I was a part of that progressive mindset, things are quickly happening. सुबह 7 बजे जो है वो different gatherings start हो जाती हैं, रात 10-11 बजे तक चलती रहती हैं. You make so many friends. Everybody, you're sitting in a cafe, and even if somebody's babysitting their kid is also a founder of a startup. I was living in downtown, right in front of Twitter and LinkedIn. So literally on walking distance, I had LinkedIn and Twitter. I could just literally step in and meet anybody. So and when I come back to Pakistan, people have a different energy. During COVID-19, something which was very interesting is since it's a global problem and everybody is going through the same issue. अब चाहे आप किसी से लाला मुझसे में बात कर लें, या चाहे किसी से कैलिफोर्निया बात कर लें, या जापान में बात, every single person is going through the same thing. And we all know the power of a support group. When people are going through similar problems and they talk to each other, it becomes therapeutic, right? So I felt like I could capitalize on this opportunity, and whoever I will talk to right now will have the same energy. Like, for example, previously when I used to talk to people in California and me sitting in Lahore, I would be very disappointed with the system over here, while those people, going a mile a minute, right? तो हमारी और हम दोनों के पेस में बड़ा फर्क होता था, and we could not, we could, I mean, like, I would say one thing, they would hear another. Somehow we were not able to close as many deals as we could, or we weren't able to produce, we weren't able to be productive together. But ever since COVID happened, and every single person is going through the same thing, तो मैं चाहे अब दुबई में किसी से बात करूं, या मैं चाहे कैलिफोर्निया में किसी से बात करूं, closing the business for me has become so easy because every single person is going through the same issue. And the interesting part is कि पहले जब मैं काम करती थी, मैं चाइना काम करके आई हूँ, तो वहाँ पे लोगों की प्रॉब्लम्स और हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में. मैं अगर पाकिस्तान में काम कर रही हूँ तो लोगों की प्रॉब्लम्स और हैं. मैं अगर सिंगापुर में कर रही हूँ तो वहाँ पे लोगों की प्रॉब्लम्स और हैं. आजकल सबकी प्रॉब्लम्स सेम है, right? So if I'm doing online laughter therapy during the lockdown for anybody, I'm collecting a data which is universally which universally makes sense, which is universally legit. So I personally think for businesses or for consultants or for anybody right now to have conversations, we've become a very small global community. Like, for example, you're working at a university at a very senior position, and your students and your academia, your institution is facing exactly the same problem, which right now maybe an Ivy League university could be facing because everybody has gone online.
Yes.
To a school which is Pakistani school, which either has an online program or does not have an online program, so everybody has the same issues. So this opens up opportunities for people to talk about on similar issues and gain insight. And I feel that nobody would be reluctant to share their experience because everybody shares the same context now. So I felt that this is a very good opportunity where we share a similar context, is where we can get to know people much better. The same way, if we go out on a conference out of country, so Pakistani, Indians, Bangladeshi, they get along really well. Singaporean, Chinese, Japanese, वो एक साथ वो उनकी एक होगी because they have similar lifestyles, same वो सारी चीजें हैं. But up, we are a very small global community. So this is one thing which I've noticed, and I want to emphasize enough on it. That anybody who has friends in abroad or has relatives in abroad, I think that this is a great opportunity to connect with them because you share the same context, and it'll be a very good opportunity for you to get close to them as well.
And the important thing is, this is the best time when you can. I would suggest that this is the best time that when you get a chance to get started, not within your boundary of your country, but to extend yourself to the other boundaries. And it's every place has been open. Means first, I mean to say that if you're working in any of the country, usually the first perspective is to do something within the boundaries. Now the world has changed automatically after this particular corona, and everybody is open to every single thing. Now you are exposed to everything. So I think that the best possible option, as you said, is to go beyond the boundaries and can start in like connecting with those means your interesting areas where you can have a chance to get started with a lot of opportunities. And that is something I personally agree. Now, not a single university from educational side, I would say, not a single university, if you take Harvard at this moment or a Cambridge, They are having the same thing which a very small university in any part of the world is having. So
Exactly. A friend of mine was very empowered and she
altogether,
told me, yeah.
altogether,
Same.
even now the context of getting a Harvard tag or a tag of a university which is approved in their particular country is the same, because ultimately the balance has been created. Actually, Tokyo, I would likely to ask you, how do you see the balance in life? Because as a therapist, most probably you have gone through this thing and you have witnessed this thing. Now, balancing in our life is something which I've seen by myself as well. People
Yeah.
now get a chance to laugh. Before than that, it was difficult for you to get them to understand why laughing is so important, because you ease out. Now they can understand what do you mean by laughing. Am I right?
Yeah, because they're missing laughter. They say that you don't miss something until you don't have it anymore. So now people don't have a laughter, so they miss laughters. My journey has changed in a way that I was somebody who inherently had a conflict with digital. Particularly for my therapy, मैं कहती थी मैंने digital नहीं जाना for two reasons. एक तो ये कि I did not know anything about digital. I'm a classic simple साइकोलॉजिस्ट, बायोलॉजी पढ़ी पूरी जिंदगी, इंसानों के बारे में मुझे पता है, कंप्यूटरों के बारे में मुझे कुछ भी नहीं पता. सो आई हैड एब्सोल्युटली नो आइडिया कि मैं कंप्यूटर बैठ के कैसे करूंगी. एंड सेकेंडली, आई बिलीव यू वुड एग्री विद मी, वी आर आइदर वन ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर जनरेशन, एंड सेकेंडली हमारा प्रोफेशन इस तरह का रहा है कि वी प्राइज आवरसेल्फ ऑन human interaction. We make better impression on people if you are sitting in front of a group of people. Like I'm somebody, and I can say that about you too. We gain energy from people around us. More the people, bigger the audience, will be more energetic, will be more happier. There are more people around us, right? So मेरी energy तो आती ही लोगों से है. So I could not imagine that sitting in a room and sitting in front of a screen and making people laugh. So I did not know that I had the ability to do it.
You know what?
Yes.
Earlier, I was just going through one of the concept which is usually been used by the what we call it up the practicing nations, where actually this concept is very common, that in the beginning of your day, every day, people used to have this kind of session where they
Hello,
have
Professor, can you hear me?
yeah
Yes.
they have a 10 minutes or 15 minutes of the time for to start with a smile. And I
Yes.
think that missing.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, guys. There was a connectivity issue. So I just want to update it. If any of us disappears during the connectivity, the rest of the two will carry on the conversation.
Yeah, that's what we did. So my
Yeah.
my question to Tokyo is like that good practices which were used in the other part of the world, where people normally get started their day because of the reason that the stress level is so high that people needs to start with a perspective in the day, that throughout the day their workability and the efficiency and the effectiveness could come to that particular level. What have you designed in your therapies that makes people who are the working, number one, people who are at the home, people who are the common people who are just be in the society? So how do you divide your particular therapies in a manner that the people like us who are the professionals have a different phase out problems and they need your session, and people who are a common person and people who are basically on different particular aspects? So what is your comment on that one?
Right. I'm glad you asked
Sir, we are
this
on the
question.
sir, we are on the second part of the discussion, right?
We are on
This
the
was the second.
we
Yeah.
will be
Okay.
Yeah. This was
Okay.
plan B, like money heist, reinvent kar liya humne plan ko.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm glad you asked me this question. When I started doing the laughter therapy, so initially I had some plans or logon ke apne plans, but somehow along the way we created very good design of it. हमने ये करना शुरू किया कि जो organizations में हम कर रहे थे, जो tech organizations होती हैं, वो काम करना शुरू करती हैं 11-12 बजे. So they start working 11-12 o'clock, and the first thing that they do in the day is that they take calls. They touch base with their clients because most of them are connected with US clients, right? So we started doing laughter therapies for them exactly at 11 to 12 p.m. So what's right happening was that the feedback that I would get from people is that after doing a laughter therapy, now after laughing a lot, especially a techie who spends an entire day in front of the screen, they say that we feel more confident now entering into a call. We feel more confident.
That is your
Exactly.
lethal weapon, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And then when I was doing in organizations like Dubai, Immerse in Dubai, and then a few organizations in Pakistan who are conventional organizations like Dawood, Hercules, Engro. So ये वो वाली organizations हैं जो 9 to 5 time जो है वो अपना करती हैं. दुबई की जो organizations हैं naturally they follow 8 to 4 p.m. time. वो भी 8 बजे ही काम करना स्टार्ट करी. सो उनके लिए वी स्टार्टेड लाफ्टर थेरेपी अराउंड 8:30 AM के दिन के स्टार्ट में जो है वो लाफ्टर थेरेपी होनी चाहिए. एंड वी वांटेड टू बेसिकली we wanted to see कि what is the response of people once they do it in the beginning of the day कि उनमें एनर्जी आती है कि नहीं आती है. सो the best part was कि हम पहले सुबह करा लेते थे तो मैं फीडबैक उस टाइम लेती. मैं कहती थी कि थ्रू आउट द डे अगर आपको फीलिंग आती है फीडबैक देने की, here's my email address, just send me a feedback. And people would send me a feedback कि I feel more positive now, I feel more giggly now, I feel आज कुछ नया हुआ है. This is something that I get to hear a lot from people. But then जो मेरी ओपन वर्कशॉप हो रही है जो मैं लोगों के लिए करवा रही हूँ वो मैं करवा रही हूँ 4-5 बजे के करीब. क्योंकि यूजुअली जो लोग who are either not working from home या जो even work from home कर रहे हैं लेकिन they don't have a specific timing to do it or startups वगैरह, so they usually wake up around like 2 or 3 p.m. फिर वो खाना खाते हैं, फिर वो चाय पीते हैं, तो 4-5 बजे तक जाके उनकी तरह आंख खुलती है. तो उनकी सुबह 4-5 बजे होती है, तो उनके लिए भी डू अ सेशन एट 5 o'clock. अच्छा 5 o'clock का टाइम हमने इसलिए भी सेट किया कि 5 o'clock is 1 p.m. London and Morocco time. It's
great.
4 p.m. UAE. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. Australian time. तो ये 5 p.m. का जो टाइम है ये तकरीबन सारों को जो है वो एक तरह से सूट कर जाते हैं. So अब going on from here, what I'm going to do is कि अब जो मेरी next laughter therapies होंगी, I'm thinking कि all of them should be global. Like none of them should be specific to this is only for Singapore, this is only for Morocco. I think this creates an element of excitement. Even though I'm sitting in Lahore, Pakistan, inside of my room, I still have the opportunity to connect with people, even though visually, exposure के हद तक ही अगर मैं लोगों को देख लूँ, like you would even notice कि हम जब नया हमने ट्रैवल करना शुरू किया तो पहले किसी कॉन्फ्रेंस में भी जाते कहीं भी जाते लोगों की शक्लें देखकर आते थे, उसी से एक्सपोजर मिल जाता था. Like for example, आज के सेशन में जब मोरक्कन एंड सिंगापुरियन हंस रहे थे तो जो पाकिस्तानी थे वो वैसे ही देख के मोटिवेट हुए थे कि यार वो लोग हंस रहे हैं हम भी देख के हंस रहे थे. Singaporeans and Moroccans, they specifically mentioned कि आपके सेशन में जो पाकिस्तानी बच्चे थे वो इतना कंफर्टेबली हंस रहे थे कि हमें उनको देख के हंसी आ रही थी. So I think it's a very good opportunity for me as well to represent Pakistan to a global community in a way कि हम भी हंसते हैं, हम भी बातें करते हैं, हमारी भी लड़कियां कोई पर्दे में नहीं है, वो आती हैं स्क्रीन के ऊपर हंसती हैं. I mean like we have sessions जिसमें लड़के लड़कियां सारे एक साथ मिलके हंसते हैं, लोग अपनी बीवी बच्चों के साथ सेशंस पे आते हैं. ये ऑनलाइन सेशंस की बात मैं कर रही हूँ. दादा दादी होते हैं, सब पोता पोती एक वो बीच में बेड के पे खड़ा हुआ होता है, वो भी हंस रहा होता है. लाइक एक मेरी सेशन में अक्सर बच्चे आते हैं, वो दादी पीछे लेटी हुई होती है और बच्ची जो है ना कोई 6-7 साल की वो हंस रही होती है, दादी उसको देख के पीछे से हंस रही होती है. It's so funny and it's so giggly, right?
The most important part is after this particular phase which you have described me, isn't it like this one that this psychological problems have actually emerged this particular one side of the business for you? Because people, I believe, are having such kind of psychological problems that they need somebody as a life coach, somebody who can just bring them through a stick or with their hand to come out of those situations. So being a therapist, I have gone through many therapists before, but this laughing therapy is something which has created the new verge of understanding for the rest of the world. I know that you are an expert in that one, but seeing that the way you are exploring the new ideas, the way you are thinking about taking it globally, isn't it going to be a new, we are looking for a new business venture where you can explore yourself of bringing out your own academy for laughing therapy, which is going to be the next step for you, might be a next
yes, absolutely.
I think as a professor, so I always go ahead in time.
Well, I'm glad you do, because we have very rare I mean, that species very rare was think about progressive things.
So that is what my particular idea of bringing it out now for the second part, as you said. My particular thought of bringing it out in this session is that earlier we have listened a lot about the business, and every single business has three things important. Berlin, if you remember, we discussed a lot earlier. The business always have three things: location, location, location. But the verge of this particular corona has actually given me a new dimension of saying
No
this thing.
location, no location, no
No, no, no,
location.
no. I would say planning, planning, and execution. Because the way we have seen the world have not come across this thing before, they were not in a situation to handle it out, and that's what we have seen, that the superpowers are now even on the verge of thinking and making themselves to now start thinking about it. As a human being, honestly. For us, all the problems are stuck between mind and matter, and we always think if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. So that is something which have now come to a point where people have started thinking about it. And this is something which I wanted to bring it out today's discussion, that for us, we never thought of planning it before. My suggestion, like a professor, that we should have a contingency plan. The way the world has seen this
Yeah.
particular scenario now, it's the right time that we should not be thinking now the past. Past has gone. December,
Yeah.
November, when it started up, it started up. Forget about it. Now you have to be channeled and start thinking about it, that if, let's suppose, in future, if something is going to be similarly coming towards us, what are our plans? This particular scenario has given us a lot of lessons. And I think Tokyo would agree, as a psychologist, that we as a human being have started thinking about it. Why we never thought earlier, it's something gone. But now we have to start thinking, what if it happens again in future? Now this is the question mark for
Yeah.
everybody. The whole world has to re-thought about its processes. My one discussion which is going on a few days back with one of the analysts, who's a very good business analyst, and I was a part of that particular discussion as well. And we were discussing about how we are going to see 2022, how we are going to see 2025. And he was asking me, Professor, that please do let us know about your thought, that how the businesses are going to be changing up its gears. I think the changing gear is there with everybody now. You just have to figure it out earlier. You have to think about your budgets. You have to think about your financials. You have to think about the circumstances which can come across your families, your relationship. Now people are going to concentrate on few things, and those the concentration is going to be, what are your basic relations. You have to first talk with yourself first. This is what the actual thing has to start up now. And my belief of seeing the things is that people are now been exposed. This whole world has been exposed. Earlier, we were never been exposed to such kind of things. Now, this is something which is opening up the windows for everybody. People are exposed to each other. People are knowing to get into a stage where they have seen the problems coming in front of them, and there they need the solutions, and nobody is going to give them the solutions. The only solution is you by yourself, and that is the message which I wanted to give to all the audience, that start thinking now about the solutions now. Forget about what the problems are coming. Problems are not never going to stop. You have to be consistent in thinking about earlier about those things which are going to come next. That is what the planning is going to be. The first important thing for every single individual, the companies, the businesses, the elements, is going to start planning earlier. Why we have seen a lot of news coming, and I know that Tokyo knows about that particular company, and the head, very close to my heart and a friend. But an IT company, a top IT company, has come to the urge of leaving their people. Why they are not having a plan earlier? Then let's suppose it's not about this corona. What if you've been badly hit by a business? Something goes wrong in the stocks. You have to be prepared earlier. That let's suppose if it comes to this stage, this is going to be our contingency plan for the next situation. So now the world has taken up this chance. Even the superpowers have to think about it. It's not about now, no more wars are going to be a solution. You cannot win others by virtue of the weapon. You can only win by virtue of being knowing the heart of the others, and being making an understanding and making the right investments in the right directions. Now the whole world is going to have a new dimension of spending a more on the healthcare, more on the values. And I personally feel that the next era is going to be more on the values and the ethics, because this part of the world which we have gone through, we have a past now. People get to know about this thing, what mistakes they have done, and now we have to learn from those particular mistakes. Now one particular element, and then I'll come down to the last part where we all have to conclude as well, that we have seen a lot of we have talked about a lot of things as a part of what is going to be the change. Now the change is going to be something here and here. So we need to change our heart and mind.
Yeah.
There is going to be something where we need to understand that one small thing which we were missing. A simple things are needed now. No more complex solutions are going to be the best solutions. The simplicity, I think you all agree, and Yasmin would rather more agree with me, that how much spending we are doing nowadays. The spending are coming to the situation where simplicity has actually been taken over. Now people are not dying for those particular brands. People are not dying that the new lawn is going to be launched in Pakistan or India or anywhere where people, the women are going to be outbreak the walls of those particular things. People are more interested now in going to the simplicity. What you have with yourself, be contented towards that one. Don't fix yourself for more, because this particular part has give us one important lesson. Don't run for the more things. Run for the limited things and start living in a limited situation where you can just have relations. The most important thing is the relationships. The most important thing is what she's been doing, bringing one smile not only on your face, to the next person you have. So my best solution would be, plan yourself now. You never know, the world ends tomorrow. Today, right after this discussion, we should have a planning. Most important planning is going to be how we are going to see the next coming days. We will be coming out of this one. We will be coming out by holding our hands together. But that is not going to be the solution. The solution is going to be planning for the next coming era where we need to change ourselves. So the change is going to be one important factor.
So, Professor, you talked about 3 or 4 very important points, but I would just repeat only 2 of them. About the thing you have said about personal and individual spendings. There was a study in Croatia in last week. My friend was telling me that economy of Croatia is going down because people are buying only necessary things. Can you just imagine? Economy of a country is going down because people are purchasing only necessary things. So our national, our individual and social spendings are going to be definitely modified. And this is another point that you raised. This was about cultural transformations, that people are concerning more about living with their essentials and living the things which are important to them, not even wishing for something which is bigger enough or maybe unnecessary in their lives. And the third thing that you mentioned, it was very important. It is very close to my heart. I'm talking about in my last session with Professor Dr. Arshad Bashir from USA. He was saying that this is the right time that we need to prepare our 1.5 million students registered in 209 universities of Pakistan to prepare them for thinking about the problems which does not exist, which still have to come. So if we are preparing our young people for something which is unknown, something which is yet to come, through planning, through critical thinking, through creative thinking, this is going to be the generation which will survive in future. Otherwise, we may not be able to face the challenges of universe once again after this COVID-19. So
Only
our last part is as
one thing, Berlin, I would say that only one thing we should be having one belief. I started out one particular subject. the belief is like the problems are going to be an unstoppable, just like an unstoppable rain.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah, true.
you just need to think about it. God is there as an umbrella. So if we have that
Yeah,
umbrella with ourselves, we will come out of that particular rain, no matter what is going to happen. God
yeah.
have designed everything for us. It's the matter of just keeping that umbrella intact with your planning. You will be out.
That's good. And the last part of the discussion is just like a conclusion. As you very beautifully said, that all the things in this universe are stuck between mind and matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
What I would request from Tokyo, just to conclude in these hard times, or maybe a lot of psychology, lot of mental health, a lot of economies going down, relationships and all, whatever. What one thing it can just come out from your heart for the
Leave
Right.
people
the
around you during these
Acha,
hard times.
please tell me how much time do we have? I wanted to tell a small story. अगर हमारे पास 5 मिनट
Yeah,
है,
sure.
a story.
We can do that. We can do that.
Acha, how many have you guys read Who Moved My Cheese?
Yes.
है ना? I think it fits the most in this situation.
Yes.
जो लोग
Yes.
नहीं पढ़े उसको
Absolutely right.
audience है ना, जो ऑडियंस है उनके लिए I think I'll share a summary of the story and then उसके
Yeah,
ऊपर
sure.
I'll conclude. So basically होता क्या है कि
Sure.
मेज हाउस होता है and उसके अंदर 4 लोग होते हैं. 2 जो होते हैं वो चूहे होते हैं and 2 are small people. Small is a metaphor for like small in size कि they can move around in the maze. अच्छा, वो लोग जो होते हैं वो मेज हाउस में चीज ढूंढने के लिए घूमते फिरते हैं. ठीक है, कहीं से उनको थोड़ा बहुत चीज मिल जाता है, कहीं से उनको ज्यादा चीज मिल जाता है, कभी 1 दिन का मिल गया, कभी 2 दिन का मिल गया. शदीद लौंडे होते हैं, बस थोड़ा बहुत चीज मिल गया, बस खा लिया. अच्छा, वो करते रहते हैं. अच्छा, एक दिन क्या होता है कि मेज हाउस में वो घूम रहे होते हैं एंड सडनली दे स्टम्बल अपॉन अ ब्लॉक एंड वहां पे बहुत ज्यादा चीज होता है, लाइक देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ चीज एंड इट टेस्ट वेरी यमी. तो वो सोचते हैं कि हम यहाँ से चीज खा लेते हैं. अच्छा, तो वो जाते हैं और वो वहां पे तो इतना ज्यादा चीज होता है कि वो 1-2 दिन के लिए होता है, वो तो कई सालों के लिए वहां पे चीज होता है. अच्छा, है दे वेरी हैप्पी. अब रोजाना वहां जाना शुरू कर देते हैं, रोजाना वहां से जाके चीज खाना शुरू कर देते हैं. दे बिकम सो कंफर्टेबल. जब वो थोड़े से कंफर्टेबल हो जाते हैं तो अपनी फैमिलीज को भी बताते हैं कि हम यहाँ से चीज खाते हैं, उनको दिखाने लेकर आते हैं. वो अपने घर भी उस ब्लॉक के पास शिफ्ट कर लेते हैं क्योंकि अब चीज करीब होते हैं. अब वो रोजाना इतनी अच्छी उनकी रूटीन बन जाती है, सुबह उठते हैं, तैयार होते हैं, चीज खाते हैं, शाम को वापस आ जाते हैं. आहिस्ता आहिस्ता उनकी टोन भी निकल आती है, खा खा के थोड़े से कंफर्टेबल हो जाते हैं. वो कहते हैं हमें फिट रहने की क्या जरूरत है, घर है, पास में ब्लॉक है, वहां जाते हैं, चीज खाना शुरू कर देते हैं. अच्छा, अब क्या होता है कि एक दिन वो आते हैं और वहां पे चीज नहीं होता. ठीक है, और वो कहते हैं ये क्या? अच्छा, जो चूहे होते हैं उनमें तो दिमाग नहीं होता चूहे, तो वो तो फौरन ढूंढने में निकल जाते हैं. जो 2 इंसान होते हैं वो कहते हैं यहीं से चीज निकलता था और यहीं से मैक्सिमम चीज निकलता, तो यहीं इंतजार करते हैं चीज निकल आएगा. अच्छा, वो बैठ जाते हैं इंतजार करने के लिए. अच्छा, वो इंतजार करते रहते हैं, कुछ दिन गुजर जाते हैं, हफ्ता गुजर जाता है, 1.5 हफ्ता गुजर जाता है. अब जो चीज था वो खत्म हो गया. अच्छा, वो दीवारों के पीछे देख रहे हैं, कोनों में झांक रहे हैं, चीज नहीं निकल रहा. वो कह रहे हैं चीज कहाँ चला गया. अच्छा, पहला हफ्ता गुजर जाता है, भूख लग रही है, कमजोर हो गए हैं, लेकिन वो कहते हैं कि चीज तो यहीं से निकलना है, अब यहीं से निकल. उनको पता ही नहीं कि और कोई ब्लॉक है भी मेज हाउस में. ठीक है. अच्छा, अब क्या होता है कि जब दूसरा तीसरा हफ्ता होता है ना, तो एक जो उनमें से होता है वो थोड़ा सा ना तंग पड़ने लग जाता है. तो कहते हैं यहाँ से तो चीज नहीं निकल रहा, मैं कम से कम मेज हाउस में जाके देखूं कि चीज निकल रहा है कि नहीं निकल रहा. तो दूसरा कहता है कि तुम पागल हो, कभी और कहीं मेज हाउस में इतना बड़ा ब्लॉक देखा है, यहीं से निकलता था, यहीं पे बैठो. वो कहते हैं अच्छा मैं तो निकलने लगा. अच्छा, उनमें से एक जो होता है ना वो निकल जाता है और वो चला जाता है मेज में चीज ढूंढने के लिए. अच्छा, अब वो जब जाता है 3-4 दिन ख्वार होते हैं, तो वो कहते हैं कि यहाँ मुझे घूमते फिरते भी नहीं मिल रहा, वहां कम से कम मैं सुकून से तो बैठा हुआ था. वो फिर वापस जाते हैं और वहीं पे जाके बैठ जाते हैं. अच्छा, ये करते करते जो होते हैं उनको पूरा 1 महीना गुजर जाता है और वहां से चीज नहीं निकलता. अच्छा, वही बंदा जो पहले निकला होता है वो सोचता है कि यार मैं कम से कम मेज में ही ठीक था, वहां कम से कम मैं ढूंढ तो रहा था, कम से कम मुझे कोई होप तो थी ना. है, वो उठता है और वो निकल पड़ता है चीज ढूंढने के लिए. दूसरा वाला कहता है कि मैं तो यहीं पे बैठ के इंतजार करूंगा. अच्छा, वो चीज ढूंढने के लिए निकल जाते हैं. जब वो चीज ढूंढने के लिए निकलता है तो उस दौरान उसको ख्याल आता है कि चीज एकदम से खत्म नहीं हुआ था, चीजें खत्म हो रहा था तो वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता कम हो रहा था. वी डिड नॉट वांट टू बिलीव इट. एट द सेम टाइम चीज में से बू भी आने लगी थी, लेकिन अब हम इतने कंफर्टेबल थे और हमें इतनी आदत हो गई थी कि हम उस बू को भी जो है वो इग्नोर करके हम वो खाते गए. ठीक है, जब वो चीज ढूंढने के लिए निकलता है तो वो नोटिस करता है कि अब उसके अंदर ना वही वाली सिमिलर एनर्जी आ रही है जो पहली दफा जब उसने चीज ढूंढा था. तो वो एक उसका फिटनेस लेवल था, एक उसके अंदर थी, उसके अंदर एक जो है वो ढूंढने की वो जो एक आप हिसाब किताब लगा रहे होते हैं, आपका एनालिसिस जो होता है, एनालिटिकल उसकी एबिलिटी बहुत ज्यादा ग्रो हो रही थी. वो नोटिस करते हैं कि दोबारा सारा कुछ वापस आ रहा है. ठीक है, और जब उसको ये होप मिलना शुरू होती है तो ही स्टार्ट्स गेटिंग एक्साइटेड, हालांकि अभी चीज नहीं मिलता. अच्छा, क्या होता है इस दौरान उसको कहीं से एक दिन का चीज मिल जाता है, कभी उसको फिर दोबारा से 2 दिन का चीज मिल जाता है, लेकिन फिर बहुत ज्यादा नहीं मिलता. लेकिन वो सोचते कम से कम चलो मैं निकला तो हुआ एक जर्नी के ऊपर. अच्छा, ये करते करते फाइनली इन 2 weeks टाइम he stumbles upon another blog जहां पे पहले से भी ज्यादा चीज होता है. ठीक है, और वो नोटिस करते हैं कि वहां पे वो जो दोनों चूहे होते हैं वो ऑलरेडी बैठ के खा रहे होते हैं और उनकी तोन निकली हुई होती है, विच मीन्स कि उन्होंने ये चीज बहुत जल्दी डिस्कवर कर लिया था. अच्छा, वो जाके चीज को टेस्ट करता है. अगर वो चीज को टेस्ट करता है तो उसको वो पहले से भी ज्यादा मजे की लगती है. एंड ही सेड कि आई डिडंट इवन नो लाइक दिस एक्जिस्टेड एंड आई वुडंट इवन नो इफ आई हैडंट गॉन ऑन दिस जर्नी. एंड इन दिस मोमेंट ही थिंक्स कि जो मेरा दोस्त है वो भी उसी ब्लॉक में बैठा हुआ होगा एंड ही डजंट इवन नो दैट अनदर ब्लॉक्स एग्जिस्ट. ठीक है, so इसके बाद the story doesn't end here. इसके बाद होता क्या है कि अब उसको चीज तो बहुत ज्यादा मिल जाता है, बट इन द नेक्स्ट कमिंग डेज वो अपनी एक आदत बनाते हैं कि हर दूसरे तीसरे दिन वो ब्लॉक में वैसे ही थोड़ा बहुत घूम फिर लेता है दूसरे ब्लॉक्स में जाके कि और भी कहीं चीज है कि नहीं, कि लेट्स सपोज अगर यहाँ से चीज खत्म होती है तो डू आई हैव एनीवेयर एल्स टू गो एज वेल. सो आई बिलीव कि दिस इज अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल स्टोरी टू टेल अस एज चीज इज यूज्ड इन द मेटाफोर, कि हमारा भी यही था कि वी वर वेरी कंफर्टेबल इवन इफ वी वर एंजॉयिंग आवर लाइफस्टाइल और आवर जॉब्स और नॉट, चाहे हमारी चीज में से बू आ रही थी, लेकिन चूंकि हम इतने कंफर्टेबल थे हम लगे रहे. कोविड हमें नजर आया, हमने अपनी आंखें बंद कर ली, हमने कहा चाइना में पाकिस्तान में नहीं है, वी डिडंट इवन प्रिपेयर फॉर इट, राइट? वी डिडंट प्रिपेयर फॉर द हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम, we didn't prepare for anything else. But at the same time, a message that is hidden in the story is that कि जैसी प्रॉब्लम आती है, you should immediately walk up and you should think, how can I move forward from here? As opposed to जो लोग इस टाइम पे अपनी तस्वीरें शेयर करें ना, थ्रो बैग्स पे थ्रो बैग्स आ रहे हैं, मैं तो थ्रो बैग लोगों के देख देख के थक गई हूँ. एक होता तो थ्रो बैग थर्सडे, अब तो थ्रो बैग वीक डे होना शुरू हो गया कि लाइक एवरी सिंगल डे पीपल आर थ्रोइंग थ्रो बैग्स, राइट? सो पीपल आर थ्रोइंग थ्रो बैग्स, मैं ये कर रहा था, मैं फ्यूचर में ये करूंगा. People do not realize that life is not going to be the same after COVID, right? So what we need to do is we need to dust our shoes and we need to just step up from here and we need to see कि मेज हाउस में कोई और ब्लॉक है कि नहीं जिसमें चीज है. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन माई केस व्हाट आई डिड वाज कि लाफ्टर थेरेपी खत्म हुई, आई डिड नॉट फस ऑन द फैक्ट कि लाफ्टर थेरेपी इन पर्सन नहीं हो सकती है. I started walking in the maze house and I stumbled upon online laughter therapy. And you never know, doing this, I might stumble upon the next big cheese block जहाँ पे पिछली laughter therapy से भी ज़्यादा जो है वो मेरे लिए success हो. So I'm actually very excited and looking forward to it. So this is my message to the audience. Start looking for things. Yes, you want to say something, Professor?
Faris, I would likely to ask you one another comment that the organizations. This is one aspect. I'm talking a little bit from the other angle. Majority of the organizations and the people on the top of the organizations have a very different. I would say kind of a psychological situation going on in their mind. I couldn't understand, Tokyo, that how come these organizations have not seen such kind of situations during their normal businesses when they have a loss, where they have such kind of situations where they hit by some of the challenges which their competitors have been doing. Even in those particular times and even in those particular hits, they survive and they come back and they never stop paying up their employees or never stop their organizations to
operations. Yes.
But I couldn't understand the psychological aspect after this corona. Why the layoffs have just started up, why people have started up thinking about it, that their organization is not going to survive if they don't lay off 100 people or 200 people or 50 people. I think the best time of utilizing this scenario is getting to closer to your employees. Start visualizing which you never visualized earlier during the time when you are so busy with your business. You never utilize you never utilize this phenomena of understanding what are the strengths of my employees, where I can put them. Sometimes it's very important in the game changer that you need to fix people for the right operations. And sometimes during this corona, I think personally that the people on the top has the best particular situation with themselves. Then now they can see that who are the main players, which person can be rotated on other job. Like in the West, it is very common that they have a rotation policy. Let's suppose if Yasmin or Tokyo is very good in this scenario of as a lethal weapon, she could be Nairobi as well. She could be Rio as well. She could be on any other particular character as well. So this is the best time when organization can start utilizing the employees in different other particular positions and characters, where they can now understand that let's suppose in future if the situation arises when one person gets out of the organization, I have a preparation earlier that the another person which I have already in my bag can take place for a time being on, or can run the operations for a good time. What happened at this moment is, yes, you can lay off the people, but what is going to be the next? The person will leave, but the next person after 6 months, when your business is going to be on the same stage, will that person come back? No. You have to employ a new person, and that new person you have to invest another 1 year to get him to understand all these situations. So my particular thing is, what is your suggestion as a psychologist of reading the minds of those particular on the positions where they are thinking in a very short term manner?
Yeah, yeah, I believe that this is a very classic example of how anxiety plays a role in our vision, right? And secondly, at the same time, it's a global practice. मैंने एक चीज ये भी notice की है, पाकिस्तानी जो हैं, हम तो बड़े हम वैसे ही लोटे हैं इतने, हमें spiritual advice चाहिए हो तो हम खाना काबा की तरफ देखते हैं, हम देखते हैं कि सऊदीया क्या कर रहा है, ठीक है, और हमें बिजनेस एडवाइस चाहिए हो तो हम अमेरिका की तरफ देखते हैं। हमने देखा कि जी अमेरिका वालों ने जो है वो 10 लाख लोगों को निकाल दिए, 60 लाख लोगों को निकाल दिए, तो पाकिस्तानियों ने भी जो है वो कई कई 100 लोगों को निकालना शुरू कर दिया। उन्होंने देखा किसी आईटी सेक्टर वाले निकाले, इधर आईटी सेक्टर वालों ने निकालना शुरू कर दिया। उन्होंने देखा कि ये फलाने लोग रिटेन करे तो हम रिटेन करना शुरू कर देते हैं। सो एक तो ये कि हम लोगों की देखा देखी बहुत सारे स्टेप ले रहे हैं। जितने लोगों से मेरी कन्वर्सेशन हो रही है अबाउट द ले ऑफ्स, तो कह रहे हैं कि जी पूरी दुनिया कर रही है, अकेले हम तो नहीं कर रहे, व्हिच मीन्स कि एक तरह से ये जो है वो एक एडेप्टेशन इफेक्ट है कि हम जो लोगों को करता हुआ देख रहे हैं हम वो देख रहे हैं, एंड आई फील कि वो उस तरह से अपने आप को जस्टिफाइड महसूस करें। सेकेंडली देयर इज एन अननोन एंजाइटी कि इकोनॉमी में चूंकि इकोनॉमी की सर्कुलेशन जो है वो रुक चुकी है, पीपल आर नॉट बाइंग द वे दे वर बाइंग, people are not spending the way they were spending, तो उनको लगता है कि पता नहीं नेक्स्ट रेवेन्यू हमारे कहाँ से आएंगे। ऐसे नहीं, कंपनियों के पास पैसे नहीं है, कंपनियों के पास जो पैसे हैं उन्होंने बस अपने पास बचा के रख लिए हैं। Fear is playing a huge role in terms of decision making, and जितनी भी कंपनीज में ले ऑफ्स हो रहे हैं आप नोटिस करेंगे सारी वही वाली कंपनीज है जिनमें थोड़ा सा सीखिया कल्चर, जिसमें वन मैन शो है कि सीईओ ने अपनी जिंदगी में बिजनेस बनाया। अब यू वुडंट सी कंपनीज लाइक गुच्ची, अरमानी, you wouldn't see companies like McDonald's laying off people, multinational companies. You wouldn't see companies like Nestle laying off people because they have systems around it, right?
And plus, Tokyo, I just interviewed one of the person who has a food chain business. He's a food chain business. A fantastic thing which comes from his side is, like, he says that my business was, let's suppose, running on 60-70%. Now at this moment, due to the online orders and the call, I've been reaching to something like 77% or 80%, because majority of people, the kids at home wanted burgers, fries, and stuff. Especially these food chains are getting. We think that might be the parking is altogether empty. It's never matters. The number of motorbikes, the number of delivery boys are more efficiently been reaching out to every home. The scale of the business of McDonald's has not been hit by as what we perceive. Pizza Hut is having a lot of business going on at this moment, online business.
And देखिए उनका logistical खर्चा भी तो बच रहा है ना। पहले तो they had to remain open all day. अब तो they only have to open their kitchens. Same goes for like packages में देख रही थी।
I personally feel that the organizations have to start looking into like living in one.
I think they should have a problem-solving behavior. कि they should focus on the need कि need क्या चली and how we can transform ourselves. But बात वही आ जाती है कि जो सेठिया कल्चर वाले लोग हैं जहाँ पे सीईओ की चलती है, सीईओ ने कहा जी 100 लोगों को हायर करो तो हायर कर लेंगे, सीईओ ने कहा कि 100 लोगों को फायर कर दो, वो लोग फायर भी कर देंगे. एंड सेकेंड पाकिस्तान में जो कि लेबर लॉज भी नहीं है कि हम लोग ने फायरिंग कैसे करनी है, किन सर्कमस्टांसेस के अंदर करनी है, सो इसलिए फायरिंग बहुत ज्यादा हो रही है. But at the same time,
it is not about the labor laws and stuff, because throughout the world, how could you see that the situation is going on everywhere? There are labor laws and everything, but people are people are been asked that okay, fine, the project has no longer been going on. My personal way of looking at the current scenario is going to be there are a lot more
फंड्स भी मिल रहे हैं ना, हुकूमत अमरीकी हुकूमत जो है वो फंड्स भी दे रही है हर बंदे को, तो उनका लेबर लॉ ये कहते हैं कि जो अनएम्प्लॉयड होगा तो हम अनएम्प्लॉयड फंड के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. पाकिस्तान में तो अनएम्प्लॉयड फंड.
Don't you think that there are a lot more opportunities which are coming across? I think Berlin is also waiting for us. But Berlin, let me just let me just conclude, sure. And then you can carry on with the conclusion as well. My perspective of seeing the perspective of this corona is that there are a lot more opportunities which is knocking our doors. On the other day, when I was talking to my wife, she's an environmentalist, and we were talking about one of the good project which we think that it's a need of the hour, and I might be proposing that particular big project to Imar, the MAC, or any big industrial side which is related with the construction side, because this particular corona has given us a lot of opportunities. As I said earlier, that opportunity is not only towards only knowing people from the close contact, but also giving us a chance to see the business and plan ourselves for the future. There are a lot more opportunities, I would say. E-commerce
I would say देखिए पैसा जो दुनिया में एग्जिस्ट करता है वो कहीं ना कहीं तो जाना ही है. Like for example, अगर hand sanitizer companies are making a lot of money, they'll be hiring people. Agar for example food chains are trying to make more money, they'll hire people. Like for example, now I'm hiring people to make a virtual team out of it. So I was thinking, let's suppose even if I hire like 3 more people into my team, that would still be creating employment. So पैसे कहीं ना कहीं तो जाने, तो जहाँ वो distribute हो रहे हैं
honestly speaking, now the whole world is thinking about the environmental projects, sustainability projects. There are a lot more investment which is going to be invested in the e-commerce side. Especially, we never thought about it. The whole entire world it's been.
IT बहुत ज़्यादा jobs create करी क्योंकि सारा कुछ digital होता जा रहा है.
One important thing is think about 80% of the SMEs. Do you think that all 80% of the SMEs are having the e-commerce with themselves? No. There are a lot more traders who never come across even the IT perspective of their businesses. Now they are thinking of going ahead with their businesses to be online. So this is going to be a new change. This is going to be a new perspective of seeing the business.
I mean, jobs eventually they will be created. ऐसे ही जैसे for example जब अखबारात बंद हुए थे तो तब IT का जमाना आया तो IT ने jobs hire करना शुरू कर दी. So jobs will be created. Of course, there's going to be a big एक गैप आएगा, लेकिन जब तक कुछ इंडस्ट्रीज बंद नहीं होंगी तब तक कुछ नई खुलेंगी भी नहीं. एंड आई एम बाय द वे पर्सनली आई एम वेरी हैप्पी कि जो लॉन वगैरह के जो शॉप्स हैं ये बंद हो रही हैं. या अगर लेट्स सपोज लाहौर में खाड़ी के अगर 10 से 2 शॉप्स रह जाएंगे, आई विल बी मोर हैप्पियर कि वो जो एक खाड़ी से फायर और वो जो उसका एक क्रेज जो पड़ा है ना.
I'm not looking at that one. Those 10 shops has to be there. My perspective is not going to be like with this particular phenomena. My perspective is let the things to be in the same manner. Start thinking about it, that how you can create the more effective businesses out of this one. Now, let me just conclude on this one. Before I finish it up, Asif, Berlin, you remember that we worked for the textile industry.
Yeah, very well. I very well remember.
2004 or 5, we know that there is a lot more investment being done by the textile industry in creating those fabrics which are made for fat reducing, aloe vera, all those particular things were used at that time just for the sake of what? Environment. Our life is much more having those particular products being seen at that time. Why not now? The business is there. Now people are going to have a change in their dimensions. Look,
Yeah.
you never thought of the tissue papers been coming as disinfected tissue papers, disinfected products. Now the new concept of the and the lifestyle is going to be changed. I personally feel the lifestyle industry is going to be emerging at this moment. Every single person living in this particular earth is going to have now a caution. And that caution is basically doing what?
Life
Giving
insurances will sell.
giving you a more chance of bringing out the products with the one particular line on the bottom of every particular box. China is the biggest industry. Let's suppose if and now the products are coming to the market, the most important thing which has created a new job for the people who are environmentalists, that they should be linked within the industry to create one particular phase that look, this product is highly gone through the process which can be covered for all kind of next future problems like viruses. So things, the products which are going to be manufactured, if I'm right, Berlin, this is going to be the new frontline things which are going to come. People are going
Absolutely.
to have
Yeah.
new objective. People, the businesses have new objective. If you don't have that particular like there are processes of making one text this particular fabric. If you know the processes, like Yasmin also knows the processes, dyeing and all those ones, coloring and everything. Now all those processes are going to have one inclusion, which is going to be the process of before the quality check, that you have to disinfected sequence to be added up, that this particular fabric is having all the processes and inclusion of this particular side, that this is also going to save you from any of the viruses. It is predetermined.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly. So, Professor, this was a very
no, no,
fascinating plan.
now let me end it up my last
Yeah,
message for the people,
yeah,
that uh, during this whole particular scenario, I learned two things, and I
right.
end my talk on that particular thing. It,
Okay.
we should not be impressed by the money. We should not
Yeah,
be impressed by how many followers on Facebook are following us or been listening
that's
us.
great. That's
We
great.
should not be fascinated about what tag on my degree is going to be. Am I Harvard graduate or am I a graduate of ABC University?
All
It
right.
is not important that what title do I have. Am I been working on a first line or a tentative level or a mid level, or am I a CEO of the company? Now the scenario has created where the CEO has to work all the day just like the first line people in his company, because this scenario never turn you to be a CEO in your room. Am I right? Now
Yeah,
this is what going to impress people the most is from my virtue of seeing is that people are going to be more impressed by the other person's generosity, how far the other person is generous enough in sharing up with me. And the most important part is how far the integrity level is going to be in between the human beings. That is the most important thing which is we are going to see in the future. The integrities is going to be now the biggest thing which we can see in terms of the businesses which we have discussed, that people are being laid off.
yeah.
Then humility, that is something which is
Very
I think
important. Very
we
important.
should we should be more seeing that what humility is going to be a factor. And last but not the thing is the whole world at this moment, Ramadan is coming up, is been looking to each other with the factor of kindness. And that is what we have seen. People are so kind, people who have less and people who have more. Now at this moment we have seen in many countries people who have more generously, they are kind enough in sharing with others. And that is my message to the whole world. Start coming towards this generosity, start coming towards this kindness, and you will see that every single business is not going to be hit. Every plan is going to work it out. The only thing which you need to do is behave productively, and you need to understand that this particular time is going to go out. Just stay, be persistent and be motivated, and please don't be panicking yourself, because in the start, as I said, belief and sabr, that is the patience. You have to be patient for next coming few days. Be patient, don't take decisions, hasty decisions now. You are not going to have a loss. The loss is not there. It is the time when you are achieving a lot of things. You have achieved the relationship. You have achieved every single thing. I close my eyes. I close myself in one particular room. I close myself in one particular moment, and I start now dreaming for the future. I have moments. I have those cherishable time which I have spent it with the good people. Start memorizing that who is left to be called. Pick up your phone tomorrow. Start making your friendships. Start calling up your people, and start making spreading out the smile, as what Tokyo has just said to us as well. And I wish everybody, this whole world is going to be a good change. We need this change to be coming up. Don't be hasty for the money. Please start running
That's
towards
that's
friendship.
that's very wonderfully concluded, like really, Professor Yasmin. I give you 60 seconds if you want to say something.
Yeah, I would say कि ये जो एक एपिसोड थी इसने हमें अच्छी तरह से याद दिला दिया है कि the mortality of life, how fragile it is, right?
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people regretting कि काश मैं ये कर लेता, काश मैं नॉर्दर्न एरिया घुमाता, काश मैं इन पैसों से जो है वो टर्की घुमाता, अब मैं इन पैसों का इस्तेमाल ही नहीं कर रहा हूँ, इन पैसों का मुझे फायदा क्या है, इस सिटी का मुझे क्या फायदा है, ये इस करोला का मुझे क्या फायदा, इससे मैं यूके घूम के आ जाता, मैं ये कर लेता, मैं वो डिग्री कर लेता. So I would say live your life without any regrets. This is an excellent time to start taking risks. As you move on from COVID, take as many risks as you can. Go fast, break things, and do not live a life of regrets. Just do it right now because you never know what's happening next.
That's real Tokyo from the Money Heist. My dear friends, like
And
we have.
by the way, we forget about it. We are also one of the designated survivors. The
We
last
are one of the
Yeah,
designated.
we are the one of the designated survivors, and that is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those who survive and those who are not affected, make sure your kindness should reach to the affected ones, because you are the one designated survivors by the God or Allah Almighty, and you have a responsibility towards all those who are suffering. And those who are suffering, they're also been looked after by some other, not other than the doctors, the nurses, the paramedic staffs, and everybody. We salute to
I
their
would
plan.
say it, I would say it, as the coronavirus was contagious, your kindness should be contagious at the same time. You should pass on if you have survived. This is for audience and this is for those wonderful guests today who joined us. Khalid is not here, but to Tokyo and to Professor. That, like the hostages in the Mint of Spain, sometimes in our lives we are also hostages to fear of failures, hostages to fear of jealousy, hostages to fear of low esteemed person, hostages to inferiority complex, hostages to failures, and hostages to any negative thought in our lives. But important thing is that we need to get out of this hostility, because we need to be more towards hostages. We need to be hostages, but hostages of hope, as a professor has said, as Tokyo has said, hostages of living your life the way you want to live, the hostages to positivity, the hostages to living your dreams the way you want. And this is what you should be hostages, instead of being hostages to jealousy, to failures, to fears, and any negative thing in your life. And second most important thing that I want to share with the audience and to you both is well, that teamwork always makes dream work. Doesn't matter how big a professor you are, you always need a Lisbon who has something missing in her life and she's looking for something. You always need a Tokyo who is drifter and less caring for the consequences but can see to the eye into eye in the field. You always need a Berlin who always supports you with the intellect, and you always need people like you who have nothing to lose, because your teamwork always make dream work. Same goes for life in our organizations. Wherever you are working, somewhere in a university, in a college, in an organization, remember that alone you cannot accomplish things unless and until you have right and smart people in your team. And third most important thing that I want to live this ended session is with this very beautiful dialogue from Berlin in the last this season just went off, that betrayal is the inherent part of love. It does not depend on how much you love somebody. It all depends how much a dilemma is put in front of you. Everyone in life is going to betray you. They need just the right moment, the right benefit, and the right time. So then you have to live. So this is all from my side. Thank you very much, Tokyo Yasmin, for joining us, Sir Professor. You are always a professor. Many of your students were asking questions, but I'm sorry, you will answer them some other time, because there are I'm receiving messages on WhatsApp. People really enjoy your show. You really meant to be a professor for us since 2004. I cherish every memory with you. Yasmin, good to see you for the first time. As thought about you, as found about you. So thank you very much for this wonderful talk. And I hope so that we keep on doing such sessions and we keep creating value in the life of the people around us in this Heist of life.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Asif.
you. Thank you for having us.
And honestly speaking, lovely to see Tokyo, and especially Yasmin, a very good friend of mine. Honestly speaking, it's a new dimension which we all have gone through. And for this particular session, I would say the triangle which we have created, we didn't work it out that much, but we ultimately we just come out from our heart. And same goes from the Tokyo side as well. I think she just spoke out what she has gone through, and I know her. She is a fabulous trainer, and honestly speaking, she is doing what Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has gifted her, bringing one smile.
Mashallah, that's good. That's wonderful.
Something is bigger than a business, and I wish her best of luck. And we all wish to attend your session whenever it is going to be. Let's have a session over here sometimes in future. And I would say,
I'm doing so many Zoom sessions. You should join. Or you can
I
keep
would
it.
love to.
Why don't you keep it for the professors at the SKYLINE University?
I'm thinking of talking to my organization, and we can in the coming days I can hook you up for a live session with our professors. That would be something awesome. I can suggest.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Berlin, why don't you take a challenge in taking it to none other than the top university of Pakistan? Why not there?
Yeah.
We can always take it. And I already talked to Yasmin that Rasheed is not a professor. He's actually not a king, but he's a kingmaker. And we have a very long relationship for the last 20 years together. And this is because of people like him that mediocre students like me can dream of stars. Dream of stars. And this was really a fascinating time. And I'll bring both of you to University of Success, inshallah, very live in Islamabad maybe. Or maybe online, we can do that anytime. But this was a very good value addition. Thank you so very much, both of you, once again for joining up, and looking forward to working with you once again in future as well. And big hug and big kisses from.
It's 1 hour 30 minutes, so let's ciao.
It's all right.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Take care.
Have a good day.
Allah Hafiz.